Hey YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are. I'm just walking the dog, so I thought I'd do a little update. Do you like my dress code today? I've been out and about in my Crocs and my silly shorts. Anywho, so what the hell is going on with the world in all crypto and all that sort of stuff? So first of all, let's start with China. China is screwed. Well, Evergrande, that is. So as per my previous video, for those of you not familiar, Evergrande is a massive Chinese property development company that has built endless amounts of ghost cities to the tune, well, not just Evergrande, but the whole Chinese construction industry as a whole over the last 15 years have created 15 ghost cities. And each ghost city is bigger than the size of Birmingham. So those 15 ghost cities can inhabit 70 million people, and they're completely empty. So all these ghost cities could easily harbour the whole of the UK. That's the scale of it. They've built 4 spaceports. They've built all sorts of airports, and it's not used. Anywho, so what's happened is that Evergrande has $300 billion of US denominated debt. That's a biggie. If it was in yuan, that would have been a lot easier, but it's in US denominated debt. So when the yuan devalues, makes their situation a lot worse. And it's been a bit of a Ponzi scheme, to be fair, because what Evergrande were doing, they were selling off plan 4 to 5 years ahead. Not good. So because they kept having to try and get the money in, so they're like, oh, okay, well, let's sell this city or this apartment block or whatever 4 years away from completion, and a huge amount of these projects are not complete. So and they've defaulted. So last week they had their first default, and this week they've had another default. Now, with the way that these debts are orchestrated, there's a 30-day grace, so they're not counted as delinquent until 30 days. So we've got like another 2 weeks, 2 and a bit weeks, until the first default is treated as a default. Not good. This is the Chinese equivalent of Lehman Brothers going bust or Bear Stearns going bust. It will spiral out into the rest of the world like this horrible contagion, like we saw in 2020. So so stocks are screwed. Seriously, I know. Yeah, it's watch this spill out. There's going to be some huge lending and insurance companies going bust across the world, mainly. For example, during 2008 with the subprime mortgage collapse, we saw AIG go bust. AIG was the world's biggest insurance company because they were backing all of these stupid CDOs, collateralized debt obligations, and CDSs, credit default swaps. So yeah, so I'm now just waiting for a big property lender to go bust in the West, and then it's watch the dominoes fall. Now, in terms of crypto, what happens is when stocks dip, so too does crypto, but only temporarily. But so when Bitcoin dips, everything else dips. But we're starting to see disconnects. So, for example, let's look at Axie Infinity. That has completely disconnected from Bitcoin. Solana completely disconnected from Bitcoin. And when we're seeing this, it's not the end. This is the beginning of lots of cryptos disconnecting from Bitcoin, which is good. So I'm looking at the sheep over there. One sheep has somehow got out of the electric fence. Where is it? I don't know if you can see it. And it's trying to get back to his flock, but can't get back over. Let's see what happens when I get closer. So so that's interesting. So although I am fully back into the markets now, by the way, I sold all of my crypto like a few weeks ago, and I've managed to do a nice little sidestep, but I'm now fully back in. I bought, so I'm just staking. I'm just fully into staking coins at the moment. Oh no, he's got stuck. Shit, sorry. There we go, little sheep. Oh, didn't really react to the electric fence. Anywho, let's fix the gate. So yeah, I'm in staking coins, so I'm predominantly in Cake and Axie. So I managed to Oh yeah, so here's the thing I wanted to talk about, and it's all about implementation. Implementation is the mother of getting shit done, and it's also about prioritization. So for the last few years, I've been screaming off the rooftops for people to buy crypto. Buy crypto, buy crypto. And had you bought in the worst times possible, at any point over the last 3 years, you'd still be wildly right now. Hell, even if you bought Bitcoin, which is like the slowest, most boring crypto that you could buy, and I highly recommend you don't buy Bitcoin and hold it, because it's just going to drag your whole portfolio down. And I've always said that, I've never bought Bitcoin. But here's the thing, I then meet a lot of these people several years down the line, and I say, how's crypto? You know, have you got in yet? And they're, oh no, I haven't had time, haven't got around to doing it yet. And I'm like, oh, that laziness, that lack of prioritization, that lack of I guess the awareness to see how important that prioritization could be has screwed them over financially. Because had they realized, I guess, the gravity of, you know, what I was saying, gravity of crypto and the future of crypto, they would have then acted on it, then they would be in a way better financial position right now. And I embody, like, I try and embody this all the time. So you must never entrench yourself in your own biases or narrow-minded opinions on something. And you got to tune that your RAS, your reticulated activating system, for opportunities. So the other day, one of my trading students, a guy called Steve Woody, he just mentioned it in one of the groups. Hey everyone, the Axie Infinity shard staking program is now up and running. It's now live, or as of yesterday. That's all he put. And so I wasn't in Axie, and I was like, ooh, interesting, staking. And typically when you have a new staking program go live, you tend to see a surge in the price, because the APY is quite high. People rush in to lock it up and get the APY. So what I did, I was in the middle of a 2-day business conference in Birmingham, where Peter Jones was the headliner, and he just couldn't be asked to turn up, which is quite hilarious. And so I was like Googling and researching Axie, and just checking out just to make sure it was fine. And then I was like, yeah, right, I need to get in. So I put $100,000 into Axie at $79. 24 hours later, it went to $115. I then took profit, and I made a cheeky something like $25,000 profit, just like that. And then I got back in again at like 119, because I thought, yeah, long story short, I tried to sidestep it, just missed out on my entry order, and then got back in. But fast forward to now, that $100,000 that I put in a couple of days ago is now sat at an $80,000 profit. So I've made, for that chunk of 100k, I've now made 80% ROI in the space of a couple of days. And not only that, because I've got in at such a low price, I've managed to get a nice price buffer in front of me. So I'm staking it, and the yield is like 188% yield at the moment. Obviously that's going to drop as more people stake in it, but so here's the ridiculous thing, utterly ridiculous. That $100,000 pot that I put into Axie is now chucking out roughly $800 a day cash flow. That's not my whole portfolio. That's relatively, not relative. That chunk, that 100k pot, $100,000 pot of money. Fighter jets all over here, just causing noise. I don't know if you can see that. There's a typhoon being chased by, I can't see the other one. Anywho, I'm just going to pause the video whilst I have a little gander.
A few moments later.
Sorry, I'm back. I had a bit of a geek out there. There are 2 typhoons doing max rate turns over the house. Now they're gone. So yeah, as I was saying, that $100,000 pot that I put into Axie is now worth $180,000, as in the actual value of the whole pot. But because I've staked it, it's now chucking out roughly between $700 to $900 per day. Now, obviously, the yield is going to drop as more people go in, so it's not going to stay at $700 a day indefinitely. It's going to go down, but it's going to be interesting to see how the yield curve plays out, because as the APY drops down, that can be offset by the price also going up. So, for example, I've got a bunch of capital staked up in Cake. So Cake, the APY at the moment is about 75%, but it's dropping about 5% every month, every 3 weeks or so. Yeah, about every month. But in order for the cash flow from my Cake to remain flat, the price only needs to go up $3 based on the amount that I've got. So yeah, it's pretty insane. Try buying a house for $100,000 and getting $700 a day. Or yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how long that lasts. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make is that you need to always prioritize, or be open-minded enough to prioritize stuff and then act upon it. And there's so many times I see mental laziness go, oh yeah, that looks good, I'll get around to it, and then people never get around to it. So for example, there was an issue last night. I was trying to extract my Axie from Binance to the Ronin wallet so I could stake on the staking protocol, but Binance had withdrew or suspended withdrawals. So I then spent from 2300 to 0315. So basically I spent 4 hours up until about 3:15 last night trying to figure this out, going through all sorts of tech issues, and then yeah, finally did it. So did I want to stay up for 4 hours late night trying to figure it out? No, I didn't. I had a Zoom call at 9 o'clock. But I realised it was extremely important, and that the second I got things, you know, staked, it would be making money. So yeah, have a little think about what you are being mentally lazy on or putting off, which is actually really important. And for most people watching this, I think if you haven't set up your crypto portfolio yet or got into cryptos, just check out the free crypto tutorials in my YouTube channel. There's a playlist and there's like 70, 80 odd videos that guide you for free. So check it out. I hope that makes sense. And one last thing, which I think is probably quite valid. I'm hearing all sorts of chatter. Basically, it really does seem like property course sellers are getting really bitter now, to the point where I have been used in an example in a training course where this guy said, "Oh, this Siam kid guy, property. I actually went out and bought one of the coins that he said to buy. I think I bought some cake, and then a week later it was 10% down. You don't get that with property, blah blah blah." And I'm thinking that's really quite bitter, and it's quite pathetic. Who buys anything and then revalues it a week later hoping to have made, you know, big bucks? If I bought any house and then revalued it a week later, I'd be negative because of the stamp duty, the fees, the legal fees, the time. It's silly. You should never, yeah. So any investment whatsoever, you need to, especially for crypto, you must not get into crypto thinking you're going to be a millionaire in 2 minutes flat. Only put money into crypto which you can afford to leave for at least 3 years. At least. That's like the shortest term frame. At least 3 years. But hey, I don't know, they're probably feeling like crypto is gobbling up a lot of their property course sales. I don't know. It's just a bit sad. Yeah. By the way, and I don't sell crypto courses. I just put it out there for free. So yeah, see you later. Hope it helps. And check out Cake, Axie. In fact, even if you don't do it, doesn't matter. Doesn't affect me. And I'll see you soon. See ya. Bye.